From Breitbart.com, Rand Paul's annual Festivus Report. $10 billion wasted on maintaining, leasing, and furnishing empty buildings. The government has wasted $10 billion, that's with a B, ladies and gentlemen, maintaining, leasing, and furnishing empty buildings, according to Senator Rand Paul and his annual Festivus Report. This year, Paul is highlighting over $1 trillion, with a T, in government waste, which includes ice skating drag queens, a $12 million Vegas pickleball complex, $4,840,082 on Ukraine influencers. Man, I guess I missed where the money was. I should have been Slava Ukraine, and then they would have just tossed me money. But hey, I guess, it pays to have a conscience. No matter how much money the government has wasted, politicians keep demanding even more. Coinciding, once again, for English speakers, with this year's report is the rising popularity of the Department of Government Efficiency. You know it as Doge. And the overall desire to slash the government waste. One of the major areas of waste identified in the report is fairly simple. The government must stop spending $10 billion on empty buildings. I actually have a different approach to this, and it's going to be a little bit crazy, but I think it'll work. So when representatives are elected to Congress, what's the first thing? Well, I have to go there and I have to pay for a place to live and I have to pay for my house, and that's why I need this money. Well, if we're spending $10 billion on empty buildings, why don't we turn them into dorms and put all the members of Congress there? I think I just solved that problem. We don't have to pay them as much. They can all live in the dormitory, and then they can all get a little bit of a dose of humility, because all these government employees, these congressional people, they live high on the hog. They live in expensive apartments, and they charge you and me to the top tier. They get expensive cars, and they say, oh, well, the cost of living so hard in DC, so I needed more money so I can pay for my home and then pay for, oh no, we got the government dorms right here, man. We don't got to pay you as much, right? We can pay you like $75,000. The dormitory will be like a college dormitory. They can have food. Everything will be provided for you. You just have to go there and go to work and come back. You know what? A, you'll save a ton more money. B, guess what? You'll have people not choosing the career of congressman that much, because who wants to live there? We need to disincentivize the idea that being a congressman is some kind of luxurious thing, right? They're playing in that $3 billion football stadium in DC. They're just spending money like it's going outside. What do y'all think of my idea? If you like my idea of taking this $10 billion in empty government buildings and then turn that sucker into a dormitory and making your congressman live in them, hit that thumbs up for that one. Yeah, right. Of course, the USDA office gets new furnishing every 2 years. You got to get the latest and fashionable things. But I like my idea. I like the fact that we're spending $10 billion on maintaining, leasing, and furnishing empty buildings. Most federal offices are ghost town. Well, if they're in DC, let's turn them into the dorms. Let's turn them into the dorms and let's have the congressmen live there. Save a lot of money and a lot of incentive. You think AOC will continue to be, right? They do. They absolutely kill it, man. They absolutely kill it with lobbying money and all these other kickbacks and things they get. You got to disincentivize them. You think glamorous AOC is going to want to live in a dorm? I mean, she's not very smart. She probably would. But like Nancy Pelosi, they're not going to be handicap friendly. If you're 84 years old and you can't walk around, you can't live in the dorms. Sorry, they're bunk beds. Get used to it. Even the busiest office barely reached 50% capacity, he continued, noting that the coronavirus worsened this problem as countless workers went remote. But Paul argues that was a problem before then, too. The GOA calculated building capacity based on usable square footage per employee and found that many of these buildings were just oversized, expensive storage units for empty desks. Let's turn them into dorms. Turn them into dorms and put the congressman there. I'm telling you, this is the thing I'm going to run on for the rest of my life. In addition to the whopping $2 billion in annual maintenance costs, the federal government is spending $5 billion on leases. Yeah, I bet you could. Dude, you think so? But after like a week, you're going to be kicking that to the curb. I'm telling you, right? I'm telling you. No, it's you think you would. You think you would. Right? She's gonna say one dumb thing too many, and you're gonna go, that's it. Get out. We're done. Later. Paul also highlighted the government's waste on commodities, such as the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention installing solar-powered picnic tables for $273,000 per table. I was a one-man Doge before Doge was a gleam in the eye of the amped-up tech executives, and the new media barons got behind the idea. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure he's very happy that Doge exists, but it is what it is. But yes, that is the Festivus Report, where your money is being blown all over the place for no good reason.